So now for this one, in order to find the value of x, I got to figure out what the total sum of the interior angles are. So to do that, I'm going to say n equals some number. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So n equals 8. So now that means that I'm going to use the equation n minus 2, the number of sides minus 2 times 180. Well, that would be 8 minus 2 times 180, which is 6 times 180. So then I take out my handy dandy calculator and I say 6 times 180 gives me 1080. So what I did is I added it's an 8-sided polygon. That means I'm going to divide this up into 6 triangles. The sum of the measures of the interior angles on a triangle is 180 degrees each. Therefore, the inside of all these is going to be 6 times 180, which is 1080 degrees. Phew, that was a lot to say. So that means that 6x plus 102 plus 132 degrees plus 132 degrees plus another 6x plus 124 plus 140 degrees plus 119, all that has to add up and equal 1080 degrees. So I'm going to, while you guys are writing it down, let's think that through. What I'm saying is all these have to add up to 1080. So I'm going to add them all up and set them equal to 1080. Okay? So now the first thing to do is combine like terms. 6x plus 6x, that's 12x. Now I've got to add all these numbers, all the constants. So I'm going to take my calculator, and then I'm going to say 102 plus 132 plus 132 plus 124 plus 140 plus 119. No. So let me show you what I'm doing. I'm combining like terms. So on the left-hand side of the equal sign, I have numbers, and then I have numbers with letters. So if I just look at the numbers, the first number is 102, the second number is 132, 132, 124, 140, 119. Where those come from is 102, 132, 132, 124, 140, 119. Okay? I've got to add all those up. All of those add up, but now notice that this is 6x and this is 6x. I can't combine the x's with the numbers because I don't know the value of x. So 6x plus 6x is what we call a first degree polynomial, which is some very fancy vocabulary, which is something that you need to know for your test. But at the same time, it's just a letter and a number. Okay? So when I add those two together, that's where I get this 6x plus 6x equals 12x. All right? And then when I add all the constants together, that's where I get this. And if I add all these together, they should add up to 1080 degrees, because that's what the formula said. Okay? Now, how do I solve for x? I got my equation, so I'm going to subtract 749 from both sides. And I get 12x is equal to 1080 minus 749. So I say 1080 minus 749. 3 31. Now, the only thing I don't like about this problem is the next step is to divide by 12. And when I do that, I get a decimal, yeah. So I'm just going to say x, I'm going to round to the 10th. So it'll be 27 point, if I look at this, the 5 is in the 10th spot. I'm going to look at the number to the right. It's greater than 5, so I'm going to round up, so that would be this. Degrees. Well, that doesn't have to say, well, it depends on how they word it. Yeah, it doesn't have to say degrees. Okay? Any questions on that? All right, now for question number 6, if I think of the XY plane, and I start here and I go from here to here, how many degrees is that? That's 180 degrees. If I go from here to here, how many degrees is that? It's another 180 degrees, but it's a total of 360 degrees. So when I travel around in a circle on the outside, that's a total of 360 degrees. What I'm trying to tell you is that x plus 104 degrees plus 40 degrees plus 110 degrees, they have to add up to 360 degrees. So for problem number 6, we're solving for x, but we're just going to crank through. We know that the exterior angles, because those are exterior angles, have to add up to a sum of 360 because it's a closed polygon. So we add them all up, 104 plus 40 plus 110, 104 plus 40 plus 110, 254. So I've got x plus 254 is equal to 360. What do I do next? I'm going to subtract 254 from both sides, and I get x equals, I'm going to plug this in the calculator, 360 minus 254, and I get 106. Is that what they asked me? Yep, find x. Does that make sense? I'm so tired. All right, let's do the next one. All these have to add up to 360. So 4x plus 56 degrees plus 2x plus 85 degrees plus, whoops, plus 57 equals 360 degrees. I ran out of space there. So now I got to combine like terms. So tell me, what term is a like term to 4x? Huh? Well, a specific variable, x to the first power. So what's 4x plus 2x? 6x. Now, 56, what is that? Do you guys know? We call it a constant. If it has a letter, we call it a variable. If it doesn't have a letter, then we don't call it a variable, we call it a constant. The reason for that is 56 will always be 56. 4x can change based on the value of x. In other words, 4x can vary based on what we plug in for x. But 56 is constant. It's constantly 56. It cannot change. So what are the like terms with 56? 85, no variable there, and 57. So I've already combined these like terms, but now I'm going to add up all these other ones. So I'm going to say 56, whoops, 56 plus 85 plus 57. I get 198. So 6x plus 198 what does that have to add up to? 360. Do I have an equation now? Yeah, I had one on the last one, but this is much easier. So what do I do first? I'm going to subtract 198 from both sides. These cancel, and I get 6x is equal to 360 minus 198. So I say 360 minus 198. I get 162. Do I have x by itself? No. Got to divide by 6. Very good. Thank you. So now I'm going to say 162 divided by 6, 27. So x equals 27. And you just leave it as 27. Any questions?
No.
No? All right, good. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up, do you kind of get what we're doing? If I gave you the formula, could you do it again?
No.
Okay, I said thumbs up, thumbs down, and I didn't say yes, no. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, thank you. So now, a convex pentagon, what does pentagon mean with regards to the number of sides? It's 5 sides, or n equals 5. But it says exterior angles. So take your ruler, we're going to draw and this is not going to be to scale or anything, but I'm going to draw a 5-sided pentagon.
Just let me go draw a pentagon. But how does mine look almost exactly like yours?
Mine looks better.
Okay.
So now this is not drawn to scale, but I'm going to say this is 83 degrees, this is 83 degrees, this is 26 degrees, this is 46 degrees, and oh wait, I screwed it up.
Because mine looks better than yours.
No, it's not. And I don't know what that last one is, so I'm going to put X there. Pentagon is 5 sides. I had to have 5 things. Don't worry about this too. I just kind of drew that in a bad spot, but it might be confusing. All right, so on the exterior angles, do I use that formula, or is there another way? Yeah, so let's make a little side note of that. On exterior angles, exterior angles must add to 360 degrees. Okay, so the exterior angles, no matter what. The sides don't matter so much, other than it helps me keep track of how I could draw my picture. Later on, it might be important, but. So now how do I solve this? Anybody have an idea? Yes? So is there an equation? She said you can take the x and all the other angles and it must add up to 360. So what does that look like from an equation perspective? Two answers that are the same. One person said this is a multi-step equation. Actually, I think it's just a one-step on this case. But it's an equation. Then somebody said x plus 83 plus 83 plus 20. So let me translate. X plus 83 degrees plus 83 degrees plus 26 degrees plus 46 degrees equals, yeah, x, 83, 83, 26, 46, equals 360. Okay, let me slide my paper in there. Combine like terms, what is 86 plus 26 plus 46? So I'm going to say 83, I said that wrong, plus 83 plus 26 plus 46. And hit equals, and I'm going to get x plus 238 equals 360. Now I'm going to subtract 238 from both sides. And I get 122. X equals 122.
Are we done?
No, I've got about 30 more problems like this to do. No, I'm just kidding. I need a volunteer to collect these.